Hi, this is the second video that I'm doing regarding the Economic Stimulus Debit Card I received in the mail. I think it actually came in yesterday. I just opened it today. The first video was how to activate the card. This video is going to be how to transfer the balance into my checking account. Not that you're going to transfer your balance into my checking account, but maybe you'd like to do that into your account. So do not subscribe to my channel based on this video. This is not the normal kind of video that I do. Normally what I do is help people with computer issues. I'll connect remotely to their computer and use Zoom so that we can have a face-to-face session. And this will be during a live YouTube session. So I can provide free computer support to people, and it becomes a video that's available for other people to watch. So that's what my channel is about. But anyway, so I'm going to punch over here to my second computer, and in the address bar for this web browser, I'm going to type in the address that they show on this paper that came with the card. It's EIPcard.com. Now the paper does not indicate that, at least that I can figure, that you can go to this address specifically to transfer a balance to your checking account. But it looks like to me that that's probably what's going to happen. So then press enter. And then up here in the upper right area, there's a login button. Click on that login button. And then it wants your user ID and password. Well, I don't have an account with them yet, and you probably don't either. So click register now. And then it wants the number that's on the debit card. So type that in. Now notice that as I type the first number, I can't see the number. There's no button on this field to display the number. So you got to be sure you're typing it correctly as you type. And then enter the expiration date that's on the card. This one is February of 2024. And then click the enter button. Now it wants the 3-digit card ID. So you're probably already familiar that on the back of a credit card, there's this 3-digit number that's for doing online transactions. And that number does show up. Now the next number down here, it asks for the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. So I'm going to blur the screen as I enter that. When I click in that field, it does show the number that I have tried before. This, by the way, is my 4th take trying to do this without the other takes. I had to end them because I inadvertently revealed personal ID information that I shouldn't be putting out on YouTube. So now I'm going to click the continue button. I'm not going to show you the rest of that screen because you've already seen it, except for me having entered my 4-digit Social Security number. So I'm clicking continue. We still have the screen blurred. And this blurring technique is something that I use when I help people with their computer issues during live YouTube sessions. I'm very regular about blurring the screen before we click to go to a different screen, and then unblur it the way that I'm about to unblur this screen. Meaning I'm going to unblur portions of this screen without revealing private information. So there is let's see, can I position? Yes, I can. So you can see up here at the top, it just says US debit card, where I'm moving the mouse up there at the top. Money network enabled. So this is all just nothing useful up here at the top. I'm going to scroll down so that all of the fields of information are visible. And then I'm going to blur specific portions of that so that I can show you what's in there. There, it's blurred. Okay. So then I click on this push live button so you'll be able to see what I have now. So this screen is first name, last name, and then there's a place for the residential address that's blurred out. And it already has my residential address there. So I did not type that in. It apparently already knew that because of the credit card number. So I'm switching here to the full blur screen because when I click into that phone number field, it pops up a whole list of uh, addresses and phone numbers for me. So I'm just going to type it in there because I don't actually like the way that any of those are displayed. And you got the whole screen blurred now, but you saw everything else that's on there. So since I've got the whole screen blurred, I'm just going to go ahead and put in my work phone number as the same number because my cell phone number is my work phone number and my home phone number. So that's all of that. So the entire screen is blurred now. I'm going to click the continue button to go to the next screen, see what we get. All right, so I'm going to show you this screen. This is step 3 of 5, create account login. Please create a user ID and password that's easy for you to remember. When you log into your account, click on the link next to each field for instructions on how to create your user ID and password. So that's these links that are in blue. That'll give more information about doing that. So I'm going to blur and go ahead and click on that and see what it gives us. Yeah, certainly that's okay to show. So creating a good user ID. User ID must be at least 6 characters. Special characters not accepted. And they show an example, SunLover14. Your user ID and password cannot be the same. Avoid using your first or last name, birthday, anniversary date, city, address, state, zip, social security number, email address, phone number, account number, and pets, children's names. Use a word you'll remember, but replace some of the letters with numbers. And they show an example of private, where they're using the numeral 1 instead of the letter I and the letter private A. Anyway, they use the number 1 twice. So then for the password, we'll go down to click on that blue link. Create a strong password. Password must be at least 8 characters, include a combination of letters and numbers. Special characters, the combination must have at least a single number, a single capital alphabetic letter, a single lowercase alphabetic letter, and a special character. So they want at least one upper, at least one lowercase, at least one number, one special symbol. The combination can include no more than 2 consecutive repeating characters. Avoid using your first, last name, birth date, anniversary date, yada, yada, yada. Tip, keeping your password secure. To keep your password more secure, create one that you can remember but isn't easy to guess. Do not write your password down anywhere. It's got to be one that you remember, that you don't use anywhere else, and don't write it down anywhere. Well, okay, I'm not going to go through my whole password training session now. I think I do have a video on that already about how to come up with strong, secure passwords and being able to remember them without writing them down accurately anyway somewhere else. And then also like using LastPass or 1Password. Those are password managing softwares. So those are things that I can help you with on my normal type of YouTube video. And at the end of this video, I'll tell you how to request that help. So I'm gonna create a user ID and a password. I'm gonna blur the screen again in doing that. And so I have to think for a moment and how I'm going to do that. And okay, that is unique. And now I did write it down on this envelope right here. I'm going to put it in a more secure place. I read it down in a way that actually is a little bit encoded. It's not exactly the way it is. Okay, and this is the user ID. And actually, I think I'm going to do a little bit more on that. Okay. All right. Now they actually didn't want all that complication in the user ID, meaning I don't think they'd said upper and lowercase and a symbol. So actually, now that I realize that, I think that's going to be my password. And come up with a better. Let's see. Let's go back and look at what they said about how to do the user ID. And at least it has 6 characters. An example, avoid using your first and last name. They didn't say that it requires the numbers. Yeah, so usually user ID isn't all that complicated. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. All right. There. And do the password. Get rid of that help window. Click in the password field. And then I'll click the continue button. And I've got, let's see, can I show you this? Yeah, I can. Okay, so up here in the upper right corner, I use LastPass as a password manager. So it's offering to remember my user ID and password. And I am showing you my user ID here. And just to give you the idea, it's DB and EIP, Economic Impact Payment, and UID, User ID. Without knowing my password and other security information, you're not going to be able to use that for anything anyway. So I am going to add that. And I'm clicking blur as it adds that to be sure it doesn't show up something else. Okay, now we're going to unblur. Now we got security questions. So security questions is going to give me a list of questions to choose from, and then I type in my answer. So I also have to keep that private, of course. So what is the name of your first pet? What is the name of your high school? And so on. So you can choose any of these. I'm not going to reveal which ones I'm choosing, because if a person knows what security questions you've chosen, then they can research to find out what your answers are. And you don't have to answer these honestly, but if you have to reset your password later, you got to remember, how did you answer these questions? So there's 2 security questions here. So I'm going to pick the questions and put in my answers, and then click the continue button and do all that while we're blurred. So let's see. Oh boy, you can even tell which one that I'm choosing, huh? So I guess blurring isn't good enough. Let's see what happens if I do this camera. Yeah, you can still see which one I'm choosing. How about if I do this camera? Yep, this one you can't see. All right, so I'll choose a question and put in an answer. I can even move the keyboard to where you can't see it. How about that? Oh, I guess I should talk to you over there, huh? And let's see, question number 2. Oh, that one will work. Okay, so now I'm going to click the continue button, and then I should be able to show you what's next. Yes, here we go. Here's what's next. Step 5 of 5, set your account preferences. So please tell us how we can communicate with you. Contact me about money network products and services. Send me emails with helpful tips. Send me emails with offers. Send me emails inviting me. No, no, no. Opt in to receive your account agreements and disclosures via email. Please send me account agreements. No, please continue sending agreements and disclosures in paper form. Yeah, I'm gonna say send those electronically. And then it wants an email address. Oh, you know what? If I say no, that email address field is still there. So I'm gonna blur the screen before I put in my email address. And then we see email address is required to complete the registration process. So that apparently is true even if you don't choose, even if you choose to continue sending paper form, they still require an email address. If you do not currently have an email address, you may be able to obtain a free email account. Conduct an online search for a free email account. Choose the provider that best fits your needs and set up your account. So email account is required to set this up. Now, it's not required for using the card. It's required to have an account on this website. So that's, it doesn't prevent you from spending money. All right, so then, okay, they're going to want me to enter the email address twice. And I suspect as soon as I click in that field, my computer is going to offer my email address to autocomplete it. And then down here, there's a check mark I have to do for saying that, yes, I have read and agreed to the electronic communications agreement. So I'm going to go back to that camera and do the email address bit, and it did not pop up my email address. So I'm going to type it in. Now I'm going to give you an email address for me later towards the end of this video, but that is specifically for my YouTube channel. And I actually check that email address more frequently. So then I'm clicking the continue button, and looks like I can show you that screen. Account registration complete. Congratulations, you have successfully established online account access. You will receive an email in order to complete your account preference selections. Click continue to proceed to your account. So when I click continue, it's going to go into the account online, and we're going to try to transfer the money from that debit card into my checking account. Important, delivery will depend upon your email provider. Add customer service at email.moneynetwork.com to your list of contacts so it is not classified as junk email. Okay, we're going to blur the screen and click continue. And it wants me to, it says, please verify your contact information. In order to verify your contact information, we need to send you a verification code. Do we have the correct email address? That's what this blurred out sentence says. And right over here, it shows my email address. And I'm going to click on the button that says email me. And then I get a screen that says, let's see, okay. This little pop-up message here says, we sent you an email with a verification code. To ensure we have the right email address, we sent a code to, and then it shows my email address. Please check your email, copy the code, and paste it below. So they want me to paste the code into this white field right there. So while I still have the screen blurred, I'm going to click over to my email account and do a refresh button. See if that email comes in. Yeah, there's 3 emails here for Money Network. Yeah, looking this over, so I'm going to open the first of those emails. And I'm looking at this to see if I can show you this. Yes. So here's what this email has: an automated response. Dear cardholder, thank you for requesting agreements disclosures. If you do not click the link above to complete the opt-in process, you will continue to receive paper communications. So I have to click on this link here to complete the selection to do email only and not get paper anymore from them in the U.S. mail. If you did not make this request, please contact immediately. To continue receiving paper copies, click the link below. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to click this link right here. I'm going to blur the screen before doing that. And this all looks okay. I can show you that. Electronic disclosures confirmation. Your electronic disclosures confirmation. Thank you for opting in to receive your money network agreements electronically. Keep your account safe, yada, yada, account balance. So that all looks well and good. It's done. So I'm going to close that tab and then go back to the email list. Go to that second email that I received from them. Make sure this one is okay to show you. Yes, it is. This is automated response. Dear cardholder, my network card was just used to sign in. Don't recognize this activity. Contact the number for immediate assistance. If I don't recognize this activity. I do recognize this activity. This was me. We're taking security very seriously. Keep you in the loop. This can happen when you first sign in. Thank you for being a valued customer. That all looks fine. Blurring the screen again. Go back to my email list. Open the last email. Check to be sure it's okay. Yes, I'm going to show you that. To complete your email verification, please enter the one-time passcode on the prompted page now. Only valid for 5 minutes. Hopefully it hasn't been 5 minutes. So I double click on that number, press Control-C to copy it, and then go back to the validation screen. Here's that white field. Press Control-V to paste it there and click on the Validate button. And it says successfully validated. Let's see. Let me do a single blur on this so I can show you what has appeared. And I come down to this one with one blur. There's the blur. Hold down the Alt key and move that blur to conceal my email address. And then push that live so that you can see it. So right here's my email address. I blurred that out. So what this says, please verify your contact information. Email successfully validated. Now it's time to tell us when to email you. You can make changes to your email opt-ins at any time. There's 3 checkboxes that I already removed those checkboxes and they are still removed. So now I click the continue button. Blur the screen first. And this I can show you. Please verify your contact information. Now it's time to add your mobile number. Would you like to add your mobile number to receive one-time verification code? Yes, I would. This gives the ability so that when I log into their account in their system in the future, that I can have 2-factor authentication, meaning I can log in with the username and the password, but it's going to send a text message to my phone and I've got to enter the code that comes to my phone. That's an extra level of security that's very, very important these days because passwords get compromised so easily. Anytime you get a chance to use 2-factor authentication, which typically means using your cell phone to enter a code, it's a very, very, very smart thing to do. And that's one of the things that I can help people set up with my YouTube free consulting services. So now it's time to add your cell phone number. Okay, so I'm going to blur that and then click on that link to add mobile. And it looks like I can show you that. So here it says add your mobile number. Adding a mobile number will allow you to receive one-time passcodes via SMS. SMS is text messages. Simple messaging service, I think is what that stands for. So I'm going to blur that and then put in my cell phone number. I almost spoke it out loud as I was typing. Okay, click next. The screen is still blurred. And then it has, let's see, I want to show you this. And it needs a blur for just there to blur my phone number. Okay, so that blur field that I'm showing you right now is, I couldn't make it short enough to just cover the phone number. So this paragraph here is, send me a one-time passcode, a acronym OTP. To ensure we have the right mobile number, we need to send you a code. Then it shows my mobile number. So I'll click this text me now button. And you should, let's see, where do you see my phone? We're expecting to see that code come in on my phone. So I'm going to blur the screen because I don't know what's going to come up next on the screen. And I felt it come in on my watch. Let's get it on the phone too, huh? I gotta unlock my phone. And there, yes, it gave me the code number here, and I'm going to, you can see this white field here. I'm just going to type that number in there, 502208. I don't know, somehow I'm more accurate when I speak the numbers out loud, but you can't use that number for anything because it's a one-time code. And then there's a validate button over here where I'm kind of moving the mouse. I think you can see that I'm moving the mouse over there. That's a button that just has the word validate. So I'm clicking validate. And then over here in red, it says mobile successfully validated. Right under that, it has my cell phone number, which again, I'm not going to show you. So now it doesn't have any button to say what to go to next. Well, that is worth showing. All right, so if I do, where is that? Blur field. There it is. Okay, so I got that, my phone number blurred out again. So now you can see the rest of this screen. So please verify your contact information, mobile successfully validated. This should have changed because why is it saying please verify? We've already verified, okay? There's a cancel button over here and I don't see any other buttons to click on. None of this is clickable. I would call this a design flaw. I'm moving the mouse around just to see if there's some other clickable item in here that's not visible. I've only got a cancel button. Why in the world would I cancel? There's an arrow pointed to the right, pointing right to the word cancel, but that's all within the same button. Nothing here is clickable. Down here at the bottom, Money Network Financial All Rights Reserved, that's just a copyright notice. Download Acrobat Reader to view PDF file, that doesn't help anything. This is a mystery. This does not make sense. As I move the mouse around, it's an arrow everywhere except over the phone number. It's a text cursor. If I can click in that field, there's no blinking cursor though. I can't change the phone number. The only thing that's clickable is cancel. Okay, I'm going to click up here in the back arrow to go back and see what that does. That's not a sensible thing to do. I'm going to blur the screen because theoretically that should take us to the prior screen. Then I got a confirm form resubmission. So we're totally busted. This is not good. All right, so I'm going to go back to the top of the website, EIPcard.com. And I've got this screen blurred because I don't know what it's going to come up with. Okay, so that's fine. It's come back up to this their home page. So now I'm going to try logging in with the credentials that I created. And again, even when I'm providing support to somebody through a YouTube video, I blur the screen to prevent exposing information. So here we've got a login screen, and I've got an indicator over here on the right that indicates LastPass has a user ID and password to put in for me. So I'm going to blur that screen and then click for LastPass to put in the user ID and password. Okay, and I'm going to show you that because I've already revealed my user ID to you, but you can't see the password. Then I'll click Login. And that's, yeah. All right, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to put a blur. All right, so I told you about the two-factor authentication. That's what's going on here. Please help us protect your account. Before we can access sensitive information, we need to verify your identity by sending you a verification code. So I can choose either email or text. So it's going to send me a code. And what I blurred out was my actual email address and my phone number here. So I'm going to click on the text me button, but before I click on that, I'm going to blur the screen because I don't know what it's going to display. Okay, that's all right. I think I can almost show you that. Yeah, I could show you that with that same blur, I think. There. Yeah. Let's adjust this blur a little bit. Yeah, I'll show you that. Yeah, I'm going to show you the last 4 digits of my cell phone number. Living large, right? All right, so here we sent you a text with your verification code to ensure we have the right mobile number. We sent a code to such and such. Please check your text messages. Enter the code below. So here I'm clicking in that field and it's showing codes that I've received before. Those are useless to you. And I see that, I have 2 codes in that text, in the text area here. And so I'm kind of dragging that to the left or pulling it to the left so I can see the time. that the last one came in, and it was 6:50 p.m. It's right now 6:51 p.m. And so this is 664,909. And then click validate. So that's the two-factor authentication. Then I get a prompt, and I can show you, remove that blur. You've successfully verified your identity, and I can click on this checkbox to trust this device so that I won't get the two-factor authentication again on this device. So they do that with cookies and IP addresses, most likely. So I'm going to click that check mark, and then please give your device a nickname. So I'm going to use the name that I use for this computer, Lenovo 1. Then I'm going to blur the screen and click the continue button. All right, looks like this is all safe to display. So we've got a dashboard here. Shows a $600 balance. There's a history of account activity. There's money out, transfers in US, checks, my account. There's my profile, card controls, account alert, my preferences, cardholder agreement, fraud alerts. Over here, one-time contribution from AFC Economic Impact, payments, 9? What's the 9 mean? I don't know what that means. So to transfer money to my checking account, seems to me it would be in this money out section, and either transfers in US or checks. I don't want to send a check from this, I don't think. Let's try transfers in US. So blurring the screen. Yeah, this looks good. And how much? Okay, so I'm going to show you this whole screen before I start filling it out. So transfer funds now to US-based bank accounts. That's exactly what I'm looking to do. Your available balance 600. Enter amount to transfer. I'll put in 600. I'm going to transfer the whole amount because I've kind of exposed it here on YouTube. So I want to move that money out of there. So here I'll be selecting the account type. So it's going to be a checking account. Then I'll put in the institution name. I'll put in the routing transit number. If you look at a check, the first long number, let's see, I guess I better get a check. Yeah, so there's that first long number over here. That's the routing number. And then there's the checking account number itself. And you put in the account number twice. They're showing right here what the routing number is, this portion, and the account number is this portion. So you put in the first name, middle name, last name. I'm assuming exactly as your name appears on the check. Review cost of funds, transfer fee. My understanding is there's not going to be any fee for this. Review the details before transferring funds by clicking continue. You're agreeing to the terms. So after filling all that out, then I'll click on the continue button. Okay, so I'm going to blur the screen and fill that out. Starting with the 600. And then select the account type of checking, the banking institution name. Is that a drop-down list? No. And then the routing number. And press the tab key to get to the account number field. And for those of you who are interested, I selected the number and I went to the next field and did selected the number, Control C for copy, go down to the next field, Control V for paste, and that worked. Some websites won't let you do that. And then first name, I'm going to put the way my name is on the check. My middle name is not on my check, so I'm not going to put that in. Transfer amount shows $600. The fee shows 0. Review details before transferring funds. Clicking on continue. So I'm ready to click the continue button. Clicking continue now. And now that took me to a screen to review funds transfer details. So let me see if I can show you all of this. Yeah, I think so. So review funds transfer details. Here it shows transfer cost is 0, transfer amount 600. Transfer amount cannot be greater than your account balance plus applicable transfer fees. Well, there aren't any. Shows the bank institution name, the last 4 digits of the routing number and the account number, and my name. There's an edit information if I need to go back and make any changes. Your account will be immediately charged the total cost displayed above by clicking continue or agreeing to the terms and conditions. And then there's a send request button. I'm blurring the screen, and then click send request. And then I got this screen looks fine. I'm going to show you that. Funds transfer request confirmation. It says, thank you. Your funds have been successfully transferred. Fund transferred may not be available until the next business day. Shows the transfer amount. Fees may be subject to change. Consult your fee schedule. It shows the bank account information. So that's done. Up here in the upper right, it says account balance 0. It's all gone. Now look at that. There's a schedule transfers button. That's curious. Let's blur the screen and go see what's on schedule transfers. All right, I'm going to show you that. Schedule automatic transfers to US-based bank accounts. Click here to schedule an automatic or recurring transfer to a US bank account. Apparently, I think that's just a system that, a feature that this system has built into it that's probably not applicable for these economic impact payments. All right, so let's call that a wrap. If you would like to have my assistance for a computer issue, that's what I really do on my YouTube channel. This is not my normal kind of video. And the way that you request that is to send an email to this address. Ooh, that messed up. All right, let's try this again. That sometimes happens when I try to go display that when I'm in split mode. Let's see if it'll work now. All right. Well, that's not working. So I'm going to leave the email address on the screen. The rest of the screen will be black. Get over it. If you would like to request a session with me, send an email to DougBetts@LiveWindowsTraining.com. Tell me a little bit about what you'd like to have some help with, and we'll put it together. The sessions are free, and basically anything you need help with your Windows-based computers. I do work with some other devices, cell phones and Apple computers, but mostly Windows-based computers. So, be happy to help you. Hope this video was of help to you. Catch you later. Goodbye.